Today on The American Athlete.
I am Justin Peck, and this is The American Athlete. I am a professional race car driver, author, and a mental health advocate. I started off in moto, so dirt bike type stuff. I did that for probably like 14 years, and within that period of time, I broke a lot of bones. Then I went to like asphalt stuff, Porsche Cup stuff, and then from the asphalt, I still love the dirt. So I went back to the desert stuff, and that's where I've been since. To be honest with you, it's the risk. I mean, there is something about being able to do 140 to 160 miles an hour across the dirt. You're out of control. I mean, you're bombing through these things and your truck's sideways and you don't know which way you're gonna go. And you know that if you let off the throttle, you're gonna die. But I'm that guy that will be going as fast as he possibly can, and next thing I hit a rock and I'm crashing. So it's controlled chaos.
These days, pushing life to the limit leads Justin to success and positivity. But it hasn't always been like this. When he was growing up, he quickly learned his outlook wasn't the same as most kids, and it would affect him drastically as an adult.
At a very, very young age, 5 and 6 years old, I knew that I was different. When you get, your friends and you're outside playing flag football, right? And I'd always have these weird thoughts. And as the years went on, the ups and downs were constantly there. And it wasn't until 12 or 13 years ago that it finally kind of reached the pinnacle. It's not like I was feeling any different than any other day. I might have been more kind of on the downside, not the manic side. So, 6 o'clock in the morning, wife's still asleep, so I lean over and I give her a kiss, and then I go upstairs and kiss the kids and go out back and grab my dog and throw her in the back of the truck and we go to work. I found myself driving up a canyon that I had typically went to just to kind of unplug. And so I'm sitting up there and the overwhelming sense of despair, like it's one of those things that it's one of those things that I wouldn't wish on anybody, So, so in a brief moment of irrational thinking, I reached over to the center console of my glove box of my truck and grabbed my pistol and loaded it and put it to my head and pulled the trigger. And I had every intentions of being done. I quit. But the outcome wasn't what I expected, right? I got this click. And so I unchambered the bullet, and the bullet flips out and lands in my seat. And I pick it up and I look at the bullet and I can see where the firing pin had hit the back of the bullet. Okay, I've shot thousands of rounds through this pistol and it's never misfired, not one time. And it just so happens that this time it didn't go off. So I called my doctor, kind of explained to him a little bit of the events that went on, and he's like, you know what, I'll cancel everything, get down here. So we went down and I spoke to him for a couple hours. We filled out some paperwork, we did the tests and everything, and that's when he's like, yeah, this is what it is, I mean, class 1 bipolar disorder, you fit it like textbook. And it was kind of a good and bad thing because I could put a name to what it was. But on the other side, there's an embarrassment of having a mental illness. So I lived with it. I was silent about it. I didn't tell my wife about what had happened. I kept everything quiet. I had no intentions of writing a book, none, zero. But the thing that people don't understand about mental illness is it's always there. Like, I can walk around And no one will look at me and say, yeah, that guy, he's wired weird. And so my grandma used to always tell me, you know, write about your life. Write about your day-to-day experiences so as your children get older, they can read about it and see who their dad was. So I started doing that. And the book is called Bulletproof. The irony behind the name is what it is, but writing the book and being able to now have people read it and relate to my life experiences is probably one of the most defining moments of my life.
After overcoming his toughest personal moment, Justin did what he always does. He turned it into fuel to achieve his goals.
I want to win everything. I never want to take second on anything, and so I will race until I physically can't. But the main goal, I think, for me is to watch my kids and my grandkids become successful in a racing career. I want to start that legacy. And now with the advocacy part, I'm associated with Bipolar Magazine, BP Hope. And you know I can't save everybody. I can sure try though. And so the big thing that I really try to convey to the people who feel like they have some type of mental disorder is gotta talk about it, man. Like, people aren't gonna judge you because everybody deals with their own stuff every single day. The thing is struggle is what builds character. Without struggle, we have no idea what success actually is. You know, the iceberg reference, right? So you can see the iceberg and you can see the tip of the iceberg, you know, floating out of the ocean. You don't see the massive block of ice underneath. Well, the block of ice underneath is the failures. But when you can stand on top of that iceberg, stand on top of your failures, and know that you succeeded, it's a great feeling. It's good times, man.
Coming up on The American Athlete.